Vail, Colorado is nestled into the Rocky Mountains. 8,000 feet above sea level, its reputation as a world-class ski resort is well-deserved. But once the snow melts, sunny days and clear skies invite outdoor enthusiasts to explore the slopes without skis. And that's when visitors are surprised to find a secret garden hidden in these majestic hills.
Vail is so oriented to skiing that summer is one of Vail's best-kept secrets, and the garden is one of the best-kept secrets of summer.
And this garden is tucked far out of sight, surrounded by native trees. Here, blossoms and waterfalls sparkle in the cool mountain air. The Betty Ford Alpine Garden has its roots in the former First family. Ever since their days on Capitol Hill, the Fords have spent much time in Vail Valley.
The Fords have had a special relationship to Vail for many, many years, and they now live in Beaver Creek, and they spend all summer here, and they spend time during the winter.
And though this garden isn't as famous as Washington, D.C.'s Rose Garden, it has winning appeal. Its steep waterfalls and rocky outcroppings win a landslide victory in their campaign to reflect the region's rugged beauty. Here, blossoms burst like 4th of July fireworks in a sparkling display of beauty that often takes visitors by surprise.
They really think nothing grows in the mountains. They think that it's, with so much snow and such long winters, how could we possibly have all these things blooming in the summer? Plants like it here just like people do.
Native columbines, hawkweed, and lupins are garden incumbents coming back year after year. And they're tried and true varieties that cheer the sunny paths. Near the flower beds, trickling water attracts visitors to a serene waterfall. It was a gift from the Fords, who are longtime admirers of the garden.
They've been very good supporters, both supporting us financially and coming to our benefits and promoting the garden with their friends.
Visitors of all political persuasions agree the garden's hidden benches are the perfect platforms to admire the garden's true colors. But nearby, ancient boulders conceal a secret. They look as if they've always been here. But the designer of the garden found them in another corner of Colorado and lobbied to move them here.
He took lots of pictures and got permission from the Forest Service, numbered the rocks and brought them here and put them back together in the same formation as he found it.
Not quite as old as the boulders, these bristlecone pines seem to defy the law of the land with their longevity. They're estimated to live 4,000 years or more, but never seem to show their age. While bristlecones and towering pines are often on the garden ballot, newcomers of smaller stature are increasingly popular.
I'd like to tell you about our dwarf conifer collection. At this point is certainly one of our best-kept secrets because it has just been planted into the new garden that was dedicated on the 4th of July.
And the collection's two newest candidates are new varieties named to honor the First family.
We named these one Pinus aristata Betty Ford and the other Pinus aristata Gerald Ford. They're very special plants and we're very lucky to have them.
Visitors will soon find the trees at home near the garden's crowning glory. This dazzling 37-foot waterfall roars with the sound of cascading water. Wooden footbridges and natural staircases ascend the waterfall to reveal hidden views along the way. Overflowing with rushing water and brilliant blooms, the Betty Ford Alpine Garden gets unanimous approval as one of America's true hidden treasures. It is a jewel of the Rockies, a summer secret waiting to be discovered.
Coming up on The Secret Gardens.
It's filled with nature. Deer come up
sometimes unfortunately to eat the flowers, but it's perfect.
An enchanted secret, nestled high in the hills. And then, we'll explore a private retreat whose beauty reaches new heights as the Secret Gardens continues. Mountain wildflowers and fertile valleys surround Vail, Colorado in summer. The valley's rich history includes a brief role in the 19th century gold rush. But in the early 20th century, sheep and cattle ranchers turned to Vail's green valleys for grazing land. And just west of Vail, an historic hillside has become home to a hidden oasis.
It is a secret. As you're driving down the driveway, you drive through a grove of aspen trees, and then you happen upon the gardens.
Secluded within the trees, a private retreat lights up the countryside with a bonanza of cheerful blossoms.
To me, it's the essence of summer in the Rocky Mountains, which is so special in itself. I like being surrounded by plantings that are typical of the area.
Kathy and George von der Linden bought this former ranch land in 1988, turning it into their own secret garden. The former cattle ranch was still completely wild and even had a natural stream running through the property. And that stream soon became a garden focal point.
We designed the house with that in mind so that when you walked in, the first thing you would see would be the water feature actually flowing under this bridge effect.
Now it's hard to miss the trickling water. The house is built over it, and the stream divides the gardens into upper and lower terraces. This homestead garden is a place where daisies and torch lilies welcome visitors and add warmth and tranquility to the environment. And everywhere, this garden has reminders of ranch life with hints of the old frontier woven into the land.
It's filled with nature. Deer come up, sometimes unfortunately, to eat the flowers. You watch the hawks with their chicks, and just overhead, it's perfect. It's heaven.
This private retreat becomes even more secluded behind the home. Nestled on the edge of the brook, a lush cottage garden is tucked away.
I can come out here anytime and never see another person. I can sit down with a great book and listen to the water. It's just wonderful.
Here, columbines, lamb's ear, and marigolds blend into the natural backdrop, forming a peaceful retreat. Not far away, a precarious stone bridge tempts the adventurous over the water. Here, a steep trail lined with begonias ascends the mountainside and seems to disappear into the old frontier. But there's more to explore on this ranchland paradise. On the other side of the home, the wide western skies frame an inviting flagstone path. Here, mock cliffs and fields of daisies melt into the meadow. And the most refreshing surprise here is hidden within the meadow, where the rolling brook falls over natural rock formations. This crystal-clear waterway blends easily into the landscape. But like the garden itself, it wasn't a gift from Mother Nature. The von der Lindens created the cascade and the gardens to harmonize with the hillside. And now it's a delightful surprise for those lucky enough to discover this peaceful paradise. Just ahead, we visit a blissful retreat shaped by nature and nurture, and a neighborhood that veiled its prized possessions when the Secret Gardens continues.
Take a chance.
The sleek ski resort of Vail, Colorado is only 4 decades old, but reminders of its wilderness heritage are all around. The high country has long been the grazing ground of deer, elk, sheep, and other wildlife. The animals migrate to these green meadows and jagged ranges to forage on native plants. In the hills near Vail, one of those yards harbors a secret garden known only to its owner and neighboring wildlife.
It's very peaceful. The sound of the water in the background, and to walk along the stream and to hear the birds and watch them.
Originally from South Carolina, Anne was drawn to Vail after skiing here in the winter.
Everybody says how wonderful it is and beautiful it is in the wintertime, but those who come in the summer stay.
And here at her summer home, she's created a wilderness oasis with southern flair. A thick woodland canopy shelters this personal retreat, creating a refuge for the garden's creator as well as local wildlife. Elusive hummingbirds flock here for nectar hidden in billowing blossoms, and the owner's southern hospitality as well. But some wildlife isn't so welcome, such as the bear that recently sauntered through a prized bed of daisies.
It sort of surprised me because I've just never expected to find a bear, even though I knew they were all around.
But with such stunning wilderness surrounding this secret garden, occasional wildlife worries are quickly forgotten.
I enjoy everything about it. I love to look at the plants, the trees and shrubbery, as well as the flowering plants.
And in this natural-looking garden, surprisingly, some features actually flow from a master plan. This man-made stream looks natural, but only imitates nature. It's designed to reflect the larger Eagle River flowing through the valley below. This one is called the Eaglet.
It's just a natural setting for plants in nature and in your garden.
Bridges reminiscent of forged mountain passes lead across the Eaglet to hidden trails and new discoveries. Here, explorers may find hidden benches and secluded places to reflect on the garden's tamed and untamed beauty.
I always tell them, when you walk, don't just walk straight ahead. Stop every now and then and look back, because the vista's so different from different angles.
From one view, bold beds of sweet William dianthus caress the garden. From another, brilliant California and Iceland poppies illuminate the rugged hillsides. And though this lush wilderness oasis looks as if it's always been here, it was created in only 2 years.
We started with a lovely piece of the mountain with great views.
200 trees native to Colorado wilderness were planted in the rustic landscape. But when it came time to plant, plants went.
You have to think positive about these things. So you just kiss them and put them in the ground and hope.
They not only made it, they've taken to the wilderness with pioneer spirit. Delicate ballerina roses and roses now accent this western garden with their southern charm. Native Colorado columbines also grace the garden.
We suspect that maybe it was a gift from a bird or a surprise in a seed packet.
The natural beauty of the flower is welcome amidst the hillside blankets of daisies, poppies, and gypsophila. Set in the Colorado high country, this secret garden reaches dizzying heights in its quest for beauty. Coming up, it's the neighborhood's best-kept secret. A private tour when we come back. Surrounded by pristine wilderness, Vail, Colorado has room to roam. And that's a huge attraction to the nearly 10,000 residents who make the home for at least part of each year. As more people discover the charm of but in Beaver Creek, some homeowners have ensured they'll always have a bit of paradise near their mountain hideaways. They've created a secret garden within the gates of their small community.
A very peaceful, tranquil setting.
Conforming to the slope of the mountainside, the garden embraces its vast alpine setting. Here, Colorado's famous quaking aspens mingle with fragrant spruce trees, creating a serene envelope around this private oasis. But what looks natural isn't at all. 20 years ago, the plans called for 3 more houses here. Landscape and set the groundwork for a private retreat.
Thank goodness the owners had the foresight to purchase the land and build this.
Is carved out of the mountains. Here.
Allow the different times to grow.
By stone walls resembling vast canyonlands conceal the process called dry stacking.
It is an old art. It's so well keyed together. These walls haven't moved.
Arching together at mid-terrace, the walls form raised flower beds for light and airy coral bells and cheerful blooms misnamed the goblin flowers. Here, a grand staircase hides another urban secret. The steps are turn-of-the-century curbstones from Denver, 75 miles away. But in their alpine setting, they look more like natural red rock formations. The edge of this mountain oasis, a dramatic waterfall sparkles on the landscape. To new heights in their precious gems. Join us again next time as we